Thursday night was really rough. We were crying, we were scared. Oh my God, a zoom. Our bill, $16,348.21. Hello, today's vlog is starting in the bathtub and we're not gonna put anyone on blast on the internet because that would just be like a little too much, but someone in the family does have a little bit of poopy butt because they spent 4 days, 3 nights in the hospital. And again, I'm not gonna put anyone on blast. We don't need to out anyone like that. We just don't need to out anyone like that for having poopy butt because that's gross. And it could happen to anyone. It could literally happen to anyone. Anyways, Diggy is home from the longest hospital vet ER stay that I've ever had to do with either dogs, and we could not be more relieved. I'll get into all the details, but man, this January has been a bitch. This month has felt so goddamn long. But I think that we are through the thick of it with Diggy's health scare, and genuinely last week was one of the scariest days of my life with Diggy, and we were Diggo, you got slippy peats. We got slippy peats. Here, do you want to put this down just for a second? And we seriously, last Thursday night, were very scared. So we are incredibly happy to have Mr. Diglett home, and our home feels whole again. And now we're gonna wash the stinky hospital off of you. Yeah. Okay, here we go. What's this? Yeah. This is the doggy shampoo that we use. It's just an oatmeal formula, moisturizes dry skin, itch relief, thick lather, rinses clean, coconut and lime verbena blend. It's basically for pups who have sensy skin, like this one, and Moose specifically has very sensy skin. Normally I just get fully naked and bring Diggo or Moose into the shower with me, because in the shower we also have one of those like little handheld things, but I decided that we could all do this together in celebration of Diggo being home. And Diggo is such a good sport with baths. Oh my God, he's such a good sport. Oh, your frog! Your ear protector! Oh, fuck! Oh, Diggo, oh no, are you cold? Okay, hang on, almost done. Okay, please don't shake, please don't shake, please don't shake. Oh God, my whole left side, my right side, I mean, is real wet. Yeah, Diggo, it is so good. Yeah. Who needs chewing? Good boy. Take your frog off. Oh, I was protected. Okay, ready? Soggy puppy airlift. Soggy puppy airlift. Oh God. Wait. Ah! Moose and Diggy, it's so funny. They have such different fur textures. Like, even though they share so much DNA, Diggy is so much fluffier than Moose is. And Moose's fur just kind of like, the water just kind of wicks right off, whereas Diggy is much more towel intensive after a bath. Also, if you have a dog with a sensitive stomach or pancreatitis, possibly, you know about the just feeding their meal as a treat. Man, last week I was just so desperate to get Diggy to eat. Like watching him wolf down his basic ass kibble, music to my ears, I could literally cry. I'm just so happy to see you have an appetite back, Mr. Man. Who needs chewing? We don't need chewing. That is such a good boy. I think one more good little, yeah. And yes, of course, after washing Mr. Poopy Butt, we do clean the bathtub before human use. Again, poopy butt could happen to anyone. It could happen to anyone, right? It could happen to literally anyone. Okay, so the long story short, except for this is probably still gonna be a long story because I'm truly so awful at summarizing anything. And for that, I am so sorry. Essentially, Diggy had a pancreatitis flare-up. And I'm gonna take this straight from Google so I get it right. Pancreatitis is a common inflammatory disease in dogs that occurs when the pancreas becomes inflamed. The pancreas is a small organ in the abdomen that produces enzymes to help digest food. Symptoms of pancreatitis: vomiting, especially repeated vomiting, check. Loss of appetite, check. Abdominal pain, check. Lethargy, check. Diarrhea, check. Fever, was not gonna stick a thermometer up his butt to check that, but likely check. Severe dehydration, collapse, and shock. So those last two, luckily, we did not have. There is no cure for pancreatitis, and it's essentially just management. So Diggy has had sensitive tummy issues in the past, but he didn't test positive for pancreatitis at that time, which is very important when it comes to pet insurance because then it does not register as a pre-existing condition. And we're gonna get all into pet insurance after this. So on the Monday, and I covered a little bit of this in the last vlog, but I can't remember exactly where we left off in the timeline when that vlog got uploaded. So I'll give you a little TLDR of the exact timeline. Monday, we were able to get an appointment at the vet because he was throwing up, he was diarrheaing everywhere. He was sick, like he was uncomfortable, he was sad, all of those things that I just checked off. He was going through all of that. So we were able to get an appointment that I made in the middle of the night on Sunday for the early next morning on the Monday. Went to our primary caregiver there. We were able to get a transfer over to the emergency vet down the street, which we've been to and love. We did a little bit of testing at the primary caregiver before going over to the ER vet. And on that Monday, they admitted him overnight. Stayed one night, came home the next day on the Tuesday. Tuesday and Wednesday were mildly uneventful. I would say it was Thursday that he started going downhill a little bit. And Thursday, he just couldn't keep anything down. What was really tough about pancreatitis is that it's all about like the digestion. So he was just, the exposure therapy truly from Diggy this past 10 days has been out of this world. And it's been really good for me, I think. So essentially he was just throwing up everything. He was regurgitating. So basically just like his stomach bile, couldn't keep anything down. And then how do you fix stomach bile? You have something in your stomach. So we just like were in this vicious cycle if he couldn't keep anything down, which couldn't help his stomach acid, and the stomach acid kept coming back up, which included all of his meds, and so his meds wouldn't stay down. And it was just this awful cycle because he obviously was just so uncomfortable, and not speaking the same language as our dogs is possibly the most heartbreaking thing in the entire world, of not being able to know what's wrong. And I mean, I talked about this in the last vlog. There was, I think it was Thursday night, was really rough. We were crying. We were scared. It was tough. It was not good. We were not going the direction that we wanted to, because pancreatitis can be fatal. It can cause all of your other organs to shut down if it's not treated properly, and he wasn't keeping his meds down essentially, so it wasn't getting treated. Friday, we go back to the vet. We're able to just go in for a couple hours, and they were able to IV some meds into his bloodstream, and he didn't have to stay overnight because she was like, let's try and settle his stomach. So they IV'd in a few of the meds that he couldn't keep down. Went home Saturday, Sunday, also really rough. We ended up canceling all of our plans. It was 24-hour care around the clock. Like we didn't do anything except for care for Diggy. And again, he just couldn't keep anything down. He had no appetite. And so again, like this vicious cycle of things coming back up because his stomach is empty and there's too much acid. So I was trying boiled chicken and boiled turkey. I was dipping individual pieces of kibble into baby food because that worked once, and I was desperate to get him to eat. I was like trying everything. We tried banana. I tried sucking the lightly salted element of a rice cracker off and like baby birding it into his mouth. Like we were just like at our will's end for all of this. It was so hard. So Monday we made the decision to go back to the ER. And I think that we just were like, I don't know what else to do. Like we're trying so hard. We're on schedule with all of the meds. Like our entire focus and priority right now is caring for Diggo, but it just like nothing was working. And I think readmitting him on the Monday was the best thing that we could have ever done. They ended up giving him a feeding tube and also pulling almost 6 cups of stomach bile from his poor little tummy. Like no wonder the poor guy couldn't keep anything down. So they were able to IV him all of his meds, pain meds, do the feeding tube to get food into his stomach after they pulled all the bile out. And he ended up staying there for 4 days, 3 nights. He's home now, and I don't think that night and day difference even summarize how different he is. Like he came home and he was starving, and I literally teared up watching him eat his food because I was like, oh my god, this is all that I've wanted for so long. It's all that I've wanted. I've never been so relieved to see a dog eat in my entire life. Oh my god. So essentially 3 stays at the vet, 1 being 4 days, 3 nights. We had another night the week before, and then 1 like couple hour little stay plus a vet visit where they did a bunch of testing. And our bill now sits at $16,348.21. Holy fucking shit. Financially, that's where we're at. And I mean, I joke all the time about like how I work hard to give my dogs a good life, right? Like you always hear people saying like I work hard to give my dogs a backyard, but like I work hard to be able to have this kind of expense in my life and be able to pay for it. But I can't express enough how clear this is to me and how privileged I am to be able to afford this level of expense, even with pet insurance covering some of it. It so deeply saddens me to think about the people who, one, don't live near an emergency vet. I feel like that's something that I come across all the time, is that people sometimes just like don't live in a city that has a 24-hour care center for animal emergencies, which is so scary to think about. And then 2, being able to afford the necessary emergency care that you need for your pet who is like a family member. Like there is nothing that I wouldn't give to make Moose and Diggy feel better and feel healthy when I know that they're in pain. Like I wish I could just take it for them and like hold the brunt of it. There's nothing that I wouldn't give. That's part of the responsibility that comes with owning an animal, is knowing that there could be financial burden. I've never had a dog before I got Moose when I moved out to LA, and I think that there were so many times when I was in university where I would have loved to have a dog and loved to have a pet, but financially I just was not ready to have a burden like what this bill could have been to me. This bill is over $16,000. I was making maybe $10,000 a year in a summer job before I'd go back to university. Like there's just no world where I would be in a place where I could be financially responsible enough to have a pet. So all that to say is that I am so lucky. I'm so fucking lucky to be in this position where I can afford this type of expense to ensure the health of my animals, and I know not everyone has that privilege. With all of that said, I want to talk about pet insurance a little bit. I preach about it so much on social media, and I feel like people have so many questions about it. And to be honest, I've been a little bit hesitant to go into detail about my like personal policy because I'm scared to give the name of my insurance and then it not be a good fit for someone else's pet. So if you're thinking about doing pet insurance, which I think if you are in a financial position where you can afford the monthly cost of pet insurance, 110%, I think that you should look into it and see if it is the right fit for your pet and where they're at in their stage of life. If you are in a position where you can afford it, you owe it to your pet, I think, to do a little bit of research and see what policy and what company makes the most sense, because likely it's not the one that I have. So I don't want to say the brand name of my insurance and just like have that be the magic fix for everyone's pet insurance problems. Just please, please, please do your own research, find the company that makes the most sense. There's so many different ones, and I think there's specific insurances for like different areas as well too. Obviously, and obviously it's like differs per country. So please, 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 please do your own research. So we are with MetLife. They used to be called Pets First. I think they got acquired by MetLife Insurance. And to be honest, my policy has been good for the past couple years. The thing about pet insurance is that they will not cover anything that is considered pre-existing, which can be really hard if your dog is older and you're only getting pet insurance once they've already accumulated a handful of health problems, because then you're paying a monthly expense with this insurance that may not end up covering anything that you are like creating costs with. But if you have a puppy, I cannot recommend it enough to be getting health insurance basically the day that they come home, because then nothing is pre-existing and everything is covered. Everything with an asterisk, obviously. But even with Diggy, because we didn't really have any health information when we got him, we were able to find a policy that would still cover his neutering. And I wanted to break down exactly what we pay. And we are absolutely going to be raising our monthly payments so that we have a higher ceiling, because I didn't realize that it was this low. And we are going to make some changes after this incident. We pay about $1,100 a year for Diggy's health insurance, and that'll cover up to $5,500 total for the year. Period. Total for the year. I thought it was much higher. So going into this being like, oh shit, I just accumulated over $16,000 worth of vet bills. I'm like, oh, okay, so the maximum that's gonna get covered here is $5,500. And we've already submitted for something else this year, I think within our policy period. Our deductible is $250. We've definitely already paid that. And we have 100% covered up to that $5,500 limit. What we are going to be doing in the future when we're allowed to make changes on our policy for the next policy period, we're gonna increase the like overall cost of our policy to have a $10,000 policy limit. So anyways, these are all going to be different. We have something very, very similar for Moose. I think his yearly cost is a little bit cheaper because I did start his pet insurance so much earlier than Diggo, but truly like, please do your research, see if it makes sense for you and your pet. Read through the policy, understand what is and what is not covered, because it really can save you so much money. Unfortunately, this whole debacle will not be covered, but again, I am so incredibly fortunate that I can afford this. And like, let's be clear, like, this is not nothing. Like, this is not a dent in my monthly expenditures. I'm definitely gonna be thinking about this as I, you know, recalibrate what I'm spending money on in probably the next 6 months, because this was an unexpected and very large expense. But again, I would do anything, truly anything, to make my boys feel better. Okay, next on our Diggo to-do list is, we had an incident involving Diggo and his jumbo squishmallow, his favorite squishmallow, that he kind of also beats the shit out of, but he's gotta fluff it up. Like, you know how some dogs turn around 3 times and then lay down to get settled? Diggo has to beat the shit out of a squishmallow for about 45 seconds to a minute and a half before he can fully settle in. So we had an incident where he got sick on his squishmallow, and it was not salvageable, unfortunately, because obviously you can't wash the inside of the squishmallow, and so we don't need to get into details, but we had to say goodbye to strawberry milk, to jumbo squish strawberry milk. So I am en route to Costco to meet Mia. I think it's highly likely that there will be a strawberry milk there right now. Last time I was there, they had cute jumbo ones, but maybe it was around the holidays. It would have been right before Christmas when I was like getting things to host the white elephant party. So we'll see what the the jumbo squishmallow offering is like today. Other than that, there's like a national egg shortage. So if they do have an 18 set of eggs, you get 18 set, a dozen and a half carton of eggs. I'll get some eggs and maybe some snackies, but basically just a jumbo squishmallow is basically what this trip is for, is to replace Diggo's favorite little guy. Not a little guy, it's a big guy and he takes up half the couch. But again, anything for the pups.
Not many jumbos. Oh no.
Guys, it just dawned on me that the squish is like the perfect match to that little fluffy ear protector band that Diggo was wearing in the bath. It's like it was meant to be. At first I thought there was only two options. One was like a fairy butterfly situation, and one was like a really bright orange dragon. They weren't speaking to me. It just wasn't the right fit. I didn't feel connected to them. And then I went digging around in the Pokemon box just to see if there happened to be any stragglers, and success, can't believe it. And I mean, just the matching, it couldn't be better. It couldn't be better. So gonna introduce this to Diggo after dinner, I think, because man, the meds that we are administering, my God, it is such a production. I feel like a pharmacy when I'm filling pill pockets and administering meds. It's crazy. Quick little Costco haul. This variety pack of Unreal chocolate. Huge fan. This edamame spaghetti. I guess back to back, that's like the true definition of balance. These are genuinely so good. I've tried the edamame pasta in like a fettuccine noodle, but I think spaghetti is actually gonna be a better form, because I feel like the fettuccine noodles kind of hold on to a little bit of water afterwards. So I think this is gonna be better, but the protein content in this goes crazy. Some plain non-fat Greek yogurt. Ooh, Grillo's pickles are back at Costco. I haven't seen them in a while. I feel like we should open these right now. Mia literally warned me. She was like, have you ever opened Grillo's? And I was like, yeah, of course I've opened Grillo's. Nope, Moose, back up, back up, back up. No puppies, no pickles for puppies, no pickles for puppies. Wow, that did not go as planned. God, the way that I have to send her a picture. The way that she warned me that this was gonna happen. God damn it. Oh man, this sweater, there's no, oh, there's like dill all over me. Wow, they really stuffed this thing full. God, I love a pickle. Grillo's, so fire. Is it cherry season? I have no idea. I worked at a grocery store for years, and I feel like that was how I kept my finger on the pulse of what was going on in the produce world. But I saw this in a girl's cart and I was like, oh shit, is it cherry season? Got my own cherries. And then I got 2 compliments of the cherries in my cart from other people having basically the exact same reaction that I did, where I was like, oh shit, those cherries look fire. Chicken skewers, beef and broccoli stir fry, and chicken sausage. Pickle juice, very much not dry. Not gonna stain, I don't think, but definitely still present. So let's make pup dinner. Kibble with a side of Dasaquin to help the joints for aging pups. One of these. Diggy is going to be switching over to a gastrointestinal specific kibble. Right now he's on a hydrolyzed protein, and so is Moose, because they both are just allergy boys, and this has made such a big difference for both of them. So we're gonna slowly wean Diggo onto his new specific low-fat diet. He was already eating decently low-fat prior to this, but we obviously just like have learned from this lesson, and it needs to be much, much stricter. So lean proteins like turkey, fish, or chicken only for the most part, and nothing crazy. So like probably no bully sticks anymore, which is very sad, but truly not worth the stress of possibly having another flare up. On the menu tonight, we have tramadol, which is an opioid, and we also have metronidazole. I don't know. Okay, tramadol, here we go. One of these. And if you have never used a pill pocket, oh my God, these things are truly life-changing. So this is for 9 to 10 p.m. This is for 9 to 10 p.m. Metronidazole. Gets 3 of these little guys. Okay, that's not crazy. Just 2 pill pockets, not bad. These come in the like little size, like this, and there's basically an opening at the top and you just stuff a pill in there, and dogs usually don't know. Like, look, a pill? Where? Bitch, where? And then these ones are a little bit bigger, and I just stuff all 3 pills in here and he just gobbles them right up. I will say, when he was feeling really sick, he was literally sniffing every single piece of food and treat to see if it had a pill in it, which I've never seen him do before. It was crazy. I was like, we don't give Diggo enough credit for this detective work that he is doing right now, because he would then take the pill pocket, chew it open, spit the pills out, and eat the pill pocket. And I've never seen him do that. So now that he's feeling better and got his appetite back, he again just blacks out and eats everything. Like, I can literally put a pill just raw on top of his kibble, and normally he would just eat it. On the regular, they are so low maintenance and we are so lucky. Is that delicious? Oh my, I will never take for granted Diggy or Moose willingly eating. I don't know, Moose is obviously just wreaking havoc back there. Yeah, you're doing so good. What's this? What's this? Nope, Moose, you're done. You had your dinner. Moose, no, go, go. No. What's this? He still got a little bit of an aversion to the bowl for whatever reason, but that's okay. Diggo, I'll do anything for you. And my light just died. Normally the dogs eat like, you know, side by side, and we've never had any issues with it. And they typically, Diggy actually used to finish first for the most part. And I think because he grew up with other dogs, he has always been very respectful. Moose has only child syndrome and is a little bit less respectful when it comes to this not being his dinner and him having already finished his own meal. So now that we're finishing at uneven times, I have to put Moose in another room while Diggy finishes. Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, we'll be here until the kibby is gone. Diggo? Who's this? Who's this? Hi, okay, so it's 2 days later from, we've been calling him Ferguson because somehow Frog became Ferg and Ferg became Ferguson. Ferguson. I think his name is actually Wendy and that it is a her, but this is a he and this is Ferguson. The new squish is thriving. It took us a day to warm up to him, which, listen, totally understand, stranger danger, new guy in the house. I get it. Listen, I really do. And so I got this little video of Diggo's very first interaction. Also, there's a Moose here and now a Diggo here. Hi, little man. Hi, little man with your eye goobies. It is currently 5:30 and the pups eat DINNER in 30 minutes. And so everyone will just hover around me to make sure that I am reminded of their existence until 6 p.m. Isn't that right? Anyways, here is Diggo's first interaction with the new squish. Oh my God, a zoom, a zoom, a zoom, a zoom, a zoom, a zoom. Hi everyone. Diggo, your butthole is directly on the cushion. Please, please. Anyways, I am going to end the vlog here. I hope you enjoyed it. I included some slides in this video of some pet insurance comparison examples, but I'm gonna leave some links in the description box that I think are helpful to kind of get like the full summary of different comparisons. But again, please, please, please do your own research if you're interested in potentially getting pet insurance and finding the right one for you. I think after this incident, there's a high chance that we will likely switch. I was referred to a new one that doesn't have a limit for how much they will cover. So essentially there's no yearly policy maximum. And I just feel like as the dogs get older, and we always err on the side of caution when they're at the vet and doing x-rays and CT scans, etc. I feel like that might be a better fit, but I haven't confirmed it, haven't done my own research. So before I name that brand, that's just where I'm at. But I hope this video was helpful if you have been potentially considering it. Again, highly recommend. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next vlog. Bye guys.